U-X-Y-C.
How do you spell art?
A-R-T.
Word processor is kind of a takeoff on the common office tool, the word processor, except here it's a completely useless machine. Just parroting back what the user dictates. In a lot of my work, there's a sort of over-engineered uselessness, which I guess in a way might be a reaction to having studied engineering and being somewhat puzzled by the accepted belief that there was some very useful purpose to the advancements and machines that they were making. I enjoy the engineering. I just love, designing all the pieces and making them work. I also like keeping it to things which are not clear what their purpose is. Well, I've been playing with electrical things for as long as I can remember, starting with motors and batteries and taking apart little toys and whatnot. So I've just always liked playing with electronic components. And then, in high school was building light shows and whatnot for the local garage bands. And then went off to MIT and studied engineering, got an electrical engineering degree. Largely to figure out how to do this stuff better. Actually, I can spend a lot more time doing engineering, building these, than I would in a commercial job. It's hard to work with this stuff if you think it's precious. You got to be ready to destroy parts. If screws were precious, it would be hard to bolt anything together, because you'd be afraid of dropping them or stripping them or whatever. And you never think of screws as being delicate. And, you got to think of this as just another bin of screws that I can just reach and get another one after I put one in backwards and fry it, or do something stupid, or just have an idea that needs 10 microprocessors or something. I built all the hardware and then wrote all the software. I guess now, all this stuff is commercially available, but but I'm a masochist. This is a talking terminal.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
It's got a digital frame store in it that holds the different images for all the different lip positions, and a little microcomputer which scans the keyboard, sees which key you've pressed, cues up the correct lip positions to make it look like it's saying that letter, and see the difference between a U and an O in the lip positions. The video goes into a board which does some A to D conversion and gen locking and sync stripping and all that video stuff. And the first monitor is straight video. This is coming from the tape. And it's actually color, but I never work in color, so I don't use color monitors. But then this is the digitized video in real time. I'm just showing sort of what I'm getting, then I can vary the controls to do my contrast and invert bits and eliminate bits. And so that's sort of my preview screen. And then the last one is the digitizing screen, so that I can just, whenever I see an image I want, I just zap it. This is the Birdcage, which is actually one of the oldest probably the oldest thing we're looking at here, made in '85. It's got a computer in it, and the eye looks around, left, right, and blinks. And the whole thing is controlled by how much light there is, so that during the day, as the sunlight comes in more, as it gets brighter, it moves around more and more frantically as it gets brighter. And then in the evening, as things get dim, it gets quieter and quieter until at a certain level it just stops moving and the eye shuts. It won't move anymore. I can cover it up some. I reduce the light enough to get it to the point where the eye is closed and it won't move until there's light again. I think of the actual electronic construction process as being my analog to drawing. The actual craft is the electronic design and construction, and I hope by this immersion of doing it repeatedly and constantly that it can become a fluid activity, a spontaneous activity, that it's not, you know, a long thought out process, but a where I can just build what I need to build each time in a very fluid way, quickly.
Like drawing.
Like drawing, where you're not thinking about moving your hand this way or that way. You're thinking about getting that image onto the paper, so that where I'm not thinking about this transistor has to be connected to that transistor, but I'm thinking about I need a circuit that does this, and can just put it together. I love this stuff.
W, X, Y.